Hey everybody, welcome back to Intercepted. This week I have another special guest, the rookie sensation, one of the best rookie tight ends. No, forget that. Best tight ends in this league this year. Rookie, first round pick, Colston Loveland. Welcome to the show, bro.
Boy, appreciate you.
Thank you for coming on the show. So let's jump right into it, bro. Disappointing loss on Sunday night, bro. Disappointing loss in San Fran. Obviously, we knew it was at stake. #1 seed, all that good stuff. But I will still say this though, even though we didn't win the game, it was an electric game, bro. I mean, the atmosphere was incredible. It felt like a playoff game. Obviously on offense, bro, we put up 38 points. Talk about from your perspective, just kind of how that game went. I mean, you guys were on fire. I mean, obviously you had a great game. Just kind of talk about your feelings about the game and everything.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Like, that's pray for times like those, games like those. And we knew all week it was going to be a shootout. Obviously, their offense, two heavyweight battles, or two heavyweights going at it. But, I mean, in the game, yeah, that's what it was. It was like, bang, man, it's kind of like that Bengals game. Just shots after shot.
Yeah.
Like you said, man, came up short. We had an opportunity to win it like we've been doing kind of all season, but came up short. But like you said, I think there's some good we could take from it.
Absolutely. It's funny you say that because literally that entire last drive, obviously we gave a touchdown on defense, which is disappointing. But obviously just like the Bengals game, like we're on the sideline. And disappointed as I was, I just knew we were going to have a chance to win it. And, you caught that pass on third down. I was like, bro, we won't win this game. Like it just had that feel. And obviously get down to the last play. I mean, game of inches, bro. Like Jade almost still scooped the ball up off the ground.
Yep.
It was an incredible game. But like I said, man, I think you had 6 catches, 94 yards. You had a deep touchdown on the offsides play. You played phenomenal. Obviously, you and Luther played phenomenal in that game. Just kind of talk about the maturation that you've had for yourself this season, because obviously early in the season, the stats weren't where they were now. But I think these past few weeks, bro, you've really come along and been balling out this year. Kind of talk about that process from where have you come from just the beginning of the year versus where you are now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, you could see the growth for sure. I think, coming off surgery in the off season, I mean, had a little bit of camp.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of slow start, but just really trusted the process. Obviously, those first couple weeks, I'm thinking, man, I wish I could get some more touches or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But we got obviously a bunch of dogs on offense. Everyone needs to eat. So, but yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's always been like, trust the process. Whenever I'm in a position to make a play, I need to go make the play and build the trust, with you guys, with the coaching staff. And I think that's continuing to show. So really that's been it. And more opportunities have been coming since whenever that Bengals week was, really that's kind of when things started to turn. But yeah, it's been good. And Luther, like you said, I mean, kind of he's in the same boat. He had an injury. He missed a couple weeks ago, but like every game, I mean, he's balling. Yeah, he's balling. You see what he does with the ball in his hands too.
I think we got like 4 of you guys got like over 600 yards. I think DJ, Rome, yourself, Luther, like Caleb's spreading the ball around, which is pretty dope. It's funny you say that because I actually forgot that you was coming out the shoulder surgery in the offseason. Obviously, you didn't participate much during OTAs. You participated, but you couldn't really have any contact.
Yeah.
And then obviously you came back, in training camp. And I remember just obviously because it's like, when you're a veteran like myself, you always kind of watch the rookies, especially the first round pick. Kind of say, oh, we'll see what this guy's made out of. Ooh. And bro, I think you made a catch during training camp, like crossed the middle, went up and snagged it. I feel like you looked like you was 12 feet up in the air. And I was like, bro, this guy's gonna be nice, bro. And obviously the route running and all that was dope, but I was like, bro, his catch rate is just crazy. And jokingly, like on the sideline, I'd be like, third and Colston. Third and Colston. That's your nickname, bro. Third, because I feel like every time we get the third down, I personally feel like the ball should go to you, just because of just where you can obviously align. You can line up wide, you can line up in the slot, in line, and you can ride up corners, safeties, definitely mismatch on the linebacker. Kind of talk about just your confidence of like, whenever Caleb needs to make a play or the Bears or we need to make a play, you feel like you're the guy they need to throw the ball to.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of just growing up. Obviously played ball for a long time, played receiver until I was too big and too slow to play receiver, so I'll play tight end. But
you look slow to me, bro.
But that's like I said, man, that's like in the tight end position, I feel like it's like the QB's blanket. You know what I'm saying? Whenever, strapped or not, you can always throw it to us and there's a good chance we'll come down with it. And like going back to what I said, building trust, like that third down, fourth down, like, yeah, what I'm saying, I want the ball. Give me the ball. And obviously, like I said, we got other playmakers too. But yeah, I want to be the guy that makes the play. And I'm very confident in myself and in my teammates. You know, the O-line's going to block it up. Caleb's going to put it on the money, which he has been doing all year. And I think, yeah, that's just kind of how it's always been.
I feel like, bro, you're like in that mode of like the new style tight end that's coming to this league, bro. Because like I said, you can really align in any spot on the field. Sure, you might be able to get in the backfield, you know, depending on what Ben might be drawing up. I think it's pretty special, though, because talk about this, too, like the competition between some of these rookie tight ends in the league. Because I ain't gonna lie, it's a pretty good class. You got yourself, obviously the other first-round pick, Tyler Warren, and Harold Fannin, who's balling out with the Browns. And obviously, especially because, I mean, I know you didn't get voted to the Pro Bowl, but still being a Pro Bowl alternate is pretty dope as a rookie. Do you guys have any like secret competition? Do you guys talk amongst each other? Have you talked to those guys probably since like combine or whatever, since the draft? Like it's just about like, yeah, obviously try to be the top guys within your class. Do y'all guys have like any friendly competition or anything like that going?
Yeah, I think there definitely is friendly competition, and we all met, like you said, through the draft. Very cool dudes too, and shout out to those guys. They're balling. But yeah, definitely friendly conversation. And you know, the media likes to gas it out
every time.
They start the competition. But no, I think it's good to see young tight ends doing what we're doing and just giving that position some love. And which obviously we got a lot of vets who are, you know, make the position what it is. But like this, I mean, it's just good to see. It's really good to see that. And like I said, shout out to all those guys for what they're doing.
Bro, I think just even, like you say, today's football, I think tight ends are so valuable because obviously the different things you can do. Because I think it's just harder. Because I think, for example, you got a dominant receiver. You got a number one receiver. There are things you can do coverage-wise or as a defense to try to take this guy away, right? If it's, like, for example, we're playing Justin Jefferson. We're going to cloud that side. We're going to have somebody up in his face, but we're going to put a safety over top. There's all types of things you can do. But when you got a tight end that's as dominant as yourself, that has the size, the catch radius, there's only so much you can really do.
Yeah.
It's just like at some point it's like a guy just has to have a bad matchup, you know what I mean? So I think it's pretty special. I also want to talk about something that I think that it's kind of like a new development, in my opinion, just this season, where I think traditionally the Bears has always been known for a strong defense. And obviously you'll have some good years where like the offense is kind of doing this thing. But this year, I think that with yourself, Luther, obviously Rome, Caleb, Kyle Manunga, I think you younger guys, this younger core of offense is like kind of leading the charge as far as like, no, we can have a top 5, top offense in the league. Just speak on that, just about just like how you guys are kind of leading this Chicago Bears organization and team into like the new age of like, hey, bro, we can have a good defense, but we also can have a top-tier offense as well.
Yeah, I think that started in OTAs, like you said, with Ben and really the whole offensive coaching staff. But like, his point's always been like, man, we want to be the best offense. We want to be the best offense. We want to put up the most points. Every play call is a bullet.
Yeah,
you know that we're letting it fly. And like you said, they did a heck of a job with the rookie class. And those guys, Ozzie stepping in.
Yeah.
Kyle, and then you know you got to shout out the older guys too for showing us the
absolutely DJ, even Darnell. Like we got a lot of guys, a lot of pieces.
But no, yeah, I think it's cool to see it all come together. And yeah, I mean, like when we're really like with how Ben coaches and you know our offensive coach is, they're gonna put it in place, man. All we got to do is be in the right spot. Really fine tune on the details and it's gonna work. So it's really just on us to go out there and just be in the right spot, have the right timing, and then you know he's gonna do the rest really.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys just in the San Fran game, you guys proven that you can compete with anybody in this league. I mean, I think you guys basically almost scored almost every other drive.
But it does help us though. Sorry to interrupt, but when you guys get them turnovers,
so trust me, I'm not. I just like you said, I just want to brag on you guys because, like I said, I think it's just something special when you're sitting on the sideline. And I'm just looking at all the great pieces that we have. As dominant as our offense is, like we trust that you guys are always going to make plays. And obviously, you're not always going to have success, neither like us on defense. But just the belief that, I mean, the matchups that Ben can create with the different pieces that we have is pretty special. Let's change gears a little bit. Let's kind of talk about you and your background. It said in the bio you grew up in Gooding, Ohio. Idaho, yeah, sorry. But you were actually born in Bliss, Idaho, small town. Kind of talk about that experience of growing up in Idaho. You're actually the first person I ever met that's from Idaho. First person. So you got to talk about the experience of Idaho. I think the only thing that I really know about Idaho is potatoes.
If I had $1 for every time,
That's the only thing I know.
No, so I think I might have messed you up too. I was actually born in Goldendale, Washington, but grew up in Bliss though. Yeah,
Bliss. So
since
that's
I
my
can remember.
bad. But producers again.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, Bliss, Idaho, like 400, 500 people. I don't even think there's a stoplight.
No stoplight?
No, I don't think there is. Yeah, no stoplight. But yeah,
Gas
like,
station?
yeah.
Okay,
Ziggy. There was a Ziggy. That was the spot too. That was the spot. But no, I mean, very like all my family lives in the area. Grandparents, very tight knit community. Bliss didn't have a football team, so that's when I really went to Gooding, which was 10 minutes away, and they were like the powerhouse, you know.
So it's like kind of close to the border. It's like right on the border.
You saying
from Washington?
No. Gooding, no. Goldendale, Washington. That's where I was. That was probably 6 hours away from.
Okay, I got you.
Now we're in Idaho.
Bet.
Bliss, Gooding, 10 minutes away.
Okay, I got you.
So I'm living in Bliss. Go to school in Gooding. Start playing ball. Got an older brother. He really kind of gets me into ball as well. And yeah, it's just like, I mean, there's fun, like you go out there, it's just fields, mountains, couple houses.
Yeah.
You know, there ain't really much there. So yeah, but I really enjoyed growing up that way. I feel like it was a lot of freedom. You know, you didn't really, it was a slower pace of life. Like you come to these big cities, it's like everyone's kind of moving everywhere. No one really, you walk walking on the sidewalk, no one's really very personable. It seems like, you know, everyone's kind of just worried about their own stuff.
Everybody will move. Everybody will move. So, so obviously you said that you was playing receiver. So you played receiver in high school?
Yeah. Growing up, I played receiver.
Okay.
And then, like I said, when I realized I wasn't running 4.4, I was a little too big. I was like, man, we'll try tight end.
So talk about your recruiting to Michigan. Because, I mean, obviously going up to Idaho, did you want to attend Idaho University, or like kind of talk about that? Like how did you end up at Michigan?
Yeah, so, I mean, as you can imagine, like recruiting was not big in Idaho. Like a couple kids maybe getting recruited for P5 upside.
Yeah, right.
So I had my quarterback, he was 2 years older than me. He was getting some looks at like Utah State, Eastern Washington, University of Idaho, like some FBS. And then I think it was my sophomore year, I got an offer from Idaho State, playing receiver. And then they were like, all right, obviously tight end. So junior year, I put some tight end tape out there in line, you know, put the hand in the guard.
Yeah.
And then I think I got like Utah State and then Utah. And then after that, it kind of just, you know how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. Starts
the domino effect.
Yeah.
And then once I got an offer from Michigan, I was gonna actually go visit Colorado. My brother's like, bro, you gotta go to Michigan.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
because I think Colorado was 2-10 or whatever.
Yeah, I think back then it wasn't really all that good. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I went to Michigan, loved it, everything about it. I was like, yeah, this is where I want to be. Tight end, obviously, they were running 13 personnel, heavy sets, pro style offense.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Like, this will be what's best for me for the NFL as well. And then, yeah, I mean, it was the spot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Got the natty too.
Yeah, definitely got the natty. And like I said, you kind of, I mean, you was balling, bro. I mean, you think about winning the natty in college, bro, and then obviously, you know, you being a top 10 pick coming out of the draft. Talk about just, you took a visit here to the Bears before? So you didn't take a visit?
No.
So did you have like a good idea of like, hey, did you was talking to the Bears? Did the Bears say like, hey, if you drop to 10 or whatever, like we're gonna pick you? Like, how was that? Like, were you surprised by getting drafted from the Bears?
Yeah, I was actually very. So it was like, I kind of had an idea in my mind. I was like, all right, I feel like I'm going, like talking to my agent, I'm going first round, confident. Anywhere from 10 to, you know, the last one. So I'm like 32. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I visited, I only had one official or whatever the visit is. Yeah, to the Chargers. And then obviously you meet with everyone at the combine. And then the Bears came to my pro day. But I wasn't participating because I had surgery.
Got you.
So I was in a room, had a long meeting with, I think Ryan, Jim, Ben, everyone was in there.
Yeah.
And then felt good about it. You know, you come out of the meeting like, man, I killed that.
Yeah, I did my thing.
But they all came. I was the only one that had that meeting with them. So I'm like, all right, the Bears are obviously they're liking me a little bit. But yeah, on draft day, it was like, I have no clue. I seen this Illinois number. I'm like,
it's lit.
Heard a couple people getting prank calls though. So I was like,
really?
How
is that, bro? I've heard that before.
Yeah, I don't know. One of my boys did. He went to the Browns base in Graham. He got a prank call. You seen the Shador prank call?
I seen it.
Man.
So I'm saying, so when you get called on draft, is it like, do you get like a new phone just for the draft now, or is that your regular phone?
See, I had two now, and I gave him like when you set it up on the combine or however you give him that number, I just gave him that number so no I had, and it was smooth. But.
So how did the Mason? I had to ask, like, what did you say happened? Like,
I don't.
It was like a kid or something.
Well,
like
yeah,
that?
his got leaked, and then even after the draft, like every second his phone would just get called. Oh yeah, he's like, I was like, you can get new numbers. He's like, nah, it'll die out eventually.
Nah, bro. NFL, we got to do better than that, bro. That's tough, cause I could just imagine the anxiety of like, first of all, you probably know you're probably around the number you might get picked up in a prank call.
Like
it really ruins the moment. It got to ruin the moment a little bit.
I mean, imagine you're with your family, like everyone's lit, you got the call, and you're like, oh, never mind, it's a prank call.
No,
let's sit back down. Let's
like
chill.
imagine if you think you about to go 15 for something like that, and all of a sudden it's no more overall pick on the clock, and you get called, and you just break down in tears, and then all of a sudden it's a prank call. It kind of that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
But no, so like I said, you go top 10 obviously to the Bears. You come in. I mean, bro, you've been on fire right now, bro. And I just obviously just been seeing like you from OTAs till now. Just the work you've been putting in has been so awesome. Before we get out of here, I have to ask you about this, obviously. So we know we had the training camp stuff, and you had it wasn't, I won't call it a Ricky show, but obviously you had to get up there. You sung was it Mario?
Yeah.
Let Me Love You.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that because I remember at first the rookies was terrible. I'm like, bro, it's terrible. Like we need to get some people up there to go tell some jokes, do some songs or whatever. And the couple guys went up there. It was terrible. So I remember you had texted me. He was like, bro, should we do any type of skits or whatever it may be? I was like, bro, we just need a couple skits, bro, nothing too crazy. So obviously when he got called up here to go do the Mario song, Let Me Love You, obviously you had a bravado, you had a swag, and I was like, okay, this kid might be on something. He might have something or whatever. But once we had to do the skits, he mimicked Ben Johnson. I mean, to the T. It was so funny. Talk about just your prep for that, because I'm about to say you really had it down pat from the walk downstairs. Sir, you pulled up the sleeves. Gotta talk about it. It was hilarious, bro.
Yeah, it was funny. So yeah, it was. Yeah, we had some rookie performances, and then you and along with the other vets and even some coaches were like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. So go back to the drawing board. I'm texting KB. I'm like, all right, like what are you guys expecting? You know what I mean? We got like a week. Ben's like, all right, this is the date where you guys are gonna come up here and do this. You know, as rookies, we postpone it till the night before or whatever.
Last minute.
And then it's like, all right, so these guys got a little presentation they're doing. And then I'm like, we're literally in the hotel. I'm talking to JP and Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm like, JP, you're gonna do this Ben skit? He's like, I didn't get drafted, bro. He's like, I don't know if I could really. I'm like, come on, bro.
I'm scared.
All right, I'll do it. Take matters in my own hands.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like that night before, I'm just drawing some notes on my car or in bed. I'm like, Ben, like when you go to a meeting with Ben, it's like you catch a lot of things that you do.
Definitely.
So I'm like, all right, I think I'm gonna kill this. We'll have the hat, and you said the shirt scrunched up.
Yeah.
Had the same whole outfit he was wearing.
That was funny.
The slideshow too. I remember it was like I had a slide of like practices. You know, we be banging in practice. So I'm like, all right. I was like, we only got a couple live periods today, boys, and it was like 10 periods all live. that one kind of hit.
It was funny.
But no, it was fun. I think it was. Shout out to you guys for making us redo that too, because that was definitely, I think, good for us as rookies to get together and really actually plan something instead of.
No, I think it was dope, bro. Like I said, I think I ain't gonna lie. I feel like nowadays, like the rookies get let off a little easy. I think Colston held it down. But I remember when I first came in the league, like it was nerve-wracking to come in a team meeting as a rookie, because you just didn't know what the best was going to be on. Like I had to go up there and sing, but we would do it like if you didn't do it good, you definitely was going to go back up there, and you would go get teased all the time. At times I was in Tennessee, it was basically an everyday thing.
What did you do? What did you do for yours?
I did what's the song called? And if I ever fall in love.
Did you get the music playing, or you had to sing it?
No, bro, we was acapella, bro. We didn't have all the technology that y'all got now, bro. We didn't have a mic. It was just basically, I was like, dude. I'm trying to get dudes to snap. They wouldn't do it. It wasn't giving me no love, bro. So no, we didn't get no acapella. But our rookie shows were like very, very like intense. Like we used to have like meetings in the morning, and we would do like legit skits. We had, obviously, you always gotta kind of mimic the head coach.
Yeah.
But nah, they used to be funny. I mean, like I said, I don't really condone hazing or nothing like that anymore, but hazing used to be a real thing, bro.
I'm sure, yeah.
So we had a real bad 2018 when I was in Tennessee. Rookie class was terrible. I mean, I wouldn't call them just like, I ain't gonna say disobedient because it's not the right word, but it was like we were asking to do little stuff and they were just like, no, I'm not. I just thought it was big in the program. So we had some real deal vets. We had some year 12, year 13 guys. One guy had been in Denver for a long time, Wesley Woodyard. And in Denver, I don't know if they still do it now, but it was a real thing. Like rookies got their haircuts. So he was like, man, forget it. We cutting y'all hair, da-da-da. Bro, we took the rookies into the bathroom, bro. And I'm talking about they brought out the clippers, bro. Jarrell Casey, a lot of the guys. I ain't gonna lie, I got into the fun as well, too. I was only like year 3 or 4. But I'm talking about taking people, I mean, somebody had a mohawk. Was
Fresh
down the
off.
middle. Fresh off, bro. It was bad. I mean, but it wasn't like they cut their whole hair off. It was just like, you just had a line down the middle.
Oh,
and you had to thug it out. That's a training camp, bro. Like, we was putting like, bro.
You couldn't fix it. You had to rock
Yeah,
it.
it was just, you had to rock it, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so funny. Then like if you was bald, which we had a Ricky Rashawn Evans the first round, he was bald, and we just shaved the sideburns. Like he had to shave something. But no, it was just fun, bro. Just all good fun.
Yeah, that's
You get taped up to the goal post, or like if you didn't want to carry pads, like you would toss their pads and helmet into the cold tub, and they would have to just go get it themselves and basically be at practice with cold shoulder pads, whatever. But it's all fun, you know what I mean? It's not as big as it used to be. I miss those days. We should bring those back. But it was pretty funny, bro. But it's one of those things where it's like you get it one time as a rookie year, and then now the next year you can kind of teach that. You know what I mean? You get to enjoy. You get to just sit back because you will see
in a meeting like waiting on your name.
I'm telling you, and you will see it next year, bro. When you're in the team meeting and you're not a rookie anymore, your shoulders a little. You know what I mean? You get to sit back, bro, and just enjoy everybody else getting teased. It's just it's a funny like thing to me, in my opinion. But nah, man, before we get out of here, like I said, I just want to kind of just obviously just give your love, give your flowers, bro, just as a rookie, because I know how tough it is as a rookie, bro. You've had a long from, obviously, you won the Natty coming out, right?
No.
So it's the year before.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you obviously bowl games, you're always in the college football playoffs. I mean, you're basically going from January, you're going to be going from January to February this year.
Yeah.
So, like, just think about how long that rookie year, being able to stay in your process, I think you've been doing a great job of that. Obviously, you've been balling on the field. So now I just wanted to kind of give you your flowers because, like I said, it's tough being a rookie in this league. But I think you've taken your stride. You've done your thing. Obviously, being a top 10 pick is a lot of pressure. But I don't think you feel that, or at least from my perspective, it don't seem like you're fazed by any of that. So definitely want to give you your flowers. Man, you're balling this year. Pro Bowl alternate. I think the second most touchdowns in the league right now as a rookie with 5. I think by the end of the season, you'll probably either tie or be at the top. So, man, just keep doing your thing, man. I appreciate you coming on the show, bro.
Right, appreciate it.
Absolutely.